Hello and welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. My name is Roy Graham and I'm your host, and today we have the pleasure of having with us Lynn Banis, who is the executive coach and owner of Discovery Point Coaching. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here.
Glad to have you in here. Why don't we just start? I always like to start by asking for an overview. Why don't you just give us what an overview of Discovery Point Coaching is?
Okay. I named my company Discovery Point because that's exactly what I do as a coach with my clients. I help them see things that they can't see or aren't seeing at the time, and help them explore opportunities, options, those sorts of things, so they are in a discovery mode to find out what they would like to accomplish next.
Okay, is this directed primarily at their business? I know it overflows, but is it primarily directed at their business to start?
Yes, absolutely. When I'm working with executives and senior executives, most of the work is around strategy, around communication, and sometimes it is helping them build their team and really get people to a very productive level.
Okay, so I know someone watching this might be wondering, why does coaching matter? I mean, they might be thinking, well, you're not in their industry, you know, what can you bring to the table? So maybe you can address
absolutely.
that.
Coaching matters, and I think that this is really wonderful to have this opportunity, because there are so many folks out there who are now hanging out their shingle and calling themselves a coach when they have not had the formal training, and they tend to end up telling their clients what to do. They're more of a consulting role. Coaches are trained to do a number of things. Probably one of the most important is to help an individual figure out what their self-limiting beliefs are, and then replace those with beliefs that allow them to be more capable. You know, it enables them to look at the world differently. And when someone's views of their world change, then they show up differently, and they are able to think of, address things that they weren't able to before because of their perception and point of view.
So you're by doing what you do, you open their eyes to new things that are actually possibilities or opportunities all around them that they may not have noticed.
Absolutely.
And all by having them look at things differently.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
So, because sometimes it's like you can't see the forest for the trees idea, right?
Yeah, a lot of it is.
That's what I was thinking when I was reading.
Well, you know, and the other thing about it is that we get in a mental path. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's all, we get into neuroscience, it's all about neural pathways and brain plasticity and stuff. But an example, you can't find your keys. Well, most of us look where we normally put the keys. Then we look all over the house and we come back to where we normally put the keys, and it's, you know, they're not there. So we have to do something different. You know, I think that there's a description of insanity that says that if you do the same thing and expect different answers, you know, and that's what happens. So we help a person make the change and actually help rewire neural pathways to ones that are going to be helpful for them.
I may be quoting this to the wrong individual, but I think it was Einstein that said that you can't solve a problem by bringing the same assets that you had that created the problem. You have to look at it differently or bring different assets to solve it.
Yes, absolutely.
And if it wasn't Einstein...
I think it was, yeah.
It could have been. I thought it was. But anyway, all right, so why don't you give us some results? What are some examples maybe of how this has helped clients? Because people get a good sense of
all right. One of my favorites, because I'm so proud of this young man, I was working, we both were working in a very high level, one of the old Big Six consulting firms or professional services firms. And he had made it to senior manager, and the next step would be junior partner. And he was so busy trying to make a name for himself and climbing the corporate ladder. He was excellent. He was very good, but he was stepping all over people. And so I think his boss decided for him that he would like to have some coaching. And it turned out that he was just very, very adaptable and willing to do that. And we began looking at things and how he was trying to make success and so forth. But what happened was he literally identified all the people that he had stepped on, and he went back to them and said, you know what, I've been in coaching. I have changed how I am going to be doing business. I know I offended you. I'd like to sit down with you and talk to you about how we might work best together going forward. Amazing. I mean,
new relationships.
People, that takes a big person to be able to do that. And he ended up moving from the point where nobody wanted to work with him and they were ready to, let him go, to a situation where he ended up being the individual selected by senior partners to help shut the company down. And so, he is one that lasted in that company forever, really. Mm-hmm. Another example, I was working with a lawyer who was the head of the legal department in a big multinational. And he was coming across as a bit arrogant, talking down to people, and he really wanted to have a promotion. He wanted to be general counsel. So we worked, and he was able to begin to realize and see how his behavior was affecting other people. Worked real hard on changing his behavior, and now he is general counsel of that company.
Is there an age group that you tend to work with, or does it, can you teach an old dog new tricks?
Absolutely. My major focus has been C-suite individuals, and it has been very good. It all depends on, is that old dog, quote unquote, willing to take a good look at themselves and make some changes.
So that's your ideal client then, would be someone who's willing to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You stepped on like 5 questions to us. Okay, so let me find one you haven't answered on. Okay. All right, so let's talk about mastermind. I know you're very passionate about mastermind, the topic of mastermind groups.
Absolutely.
And things, and facilitating those. You want to tell us about what you do?
Yes. Masterminds are really an opportunity for people to get together and have kind of their own advisory board. So I find people who have similar issues in business. I like to identify people who have a few criteria. One is they're really, really, really want to do something big that they haven't been able to accomplish. They are willing to share their resources and support with other people. They're bright and articulate and know what they're doing. So those things are very important to people who are going to be in a group. Then I hand select a group of 8 to 10 people, and we begin a mastermind. And the idea is that each one of them kind of starts out with, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I would like to do, I'm excited about it, and this is the kind of support I need. So then we go forward, and in each meeting, they all get to report on what they have accomplished since the last meeting, because a lot of it is holding people accountable, holding each other accountable for actually getting it done. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one of the reasons, that they join a mastermind group. They haven't been able to finish what they're doing or even attempt it. And then we use what's called a hot seat application, where an individual, maybe one or two in each session, get half an hour where they have the opportunity to really go more deeply into what's working, what's not working, what they've tried, questions they have. Should I do this? Should I do that? How do you like this as a name of my project? And then they get the value of having the whole rest of the group in the mastermind give them feedback, make suggestions, and give them information in a very positive, supportive manner, so that they have a bunch more options that they may not have thought about before.
Right. So, and you find that works?
It works incredibly well. People bring new products to market. I have had individuals who have been interested in philanthropy and starting whole new charitable groups. I've had business people who were trying desperately to increase their market share, for instance, who have been able to really build that constituency of customers or clients.
Okay. Well, your contact information is going to be at the end of the video and on this page, but is there something that I haven't asked you about that you wanted to mention, or did I cover it?
You covered a lot. I think I think the most important thing is I would suggest to your viewers, if they're interested in coaching, to really do their homework about the coach. Make sure they have been trained and they have credentials and so forth. Now, I'm not saying there aren't good coaches who don't have that, because there are some out there, but there are an awful lot of folks who really aren't doing the right thing or a good job. So.
Okay. All right, and I thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you.
So if you are in need of some coaching for your business, for your life, for both, and are interested maybe in a mastermind, maybe just one-on-one coaching, or just thinking about it, you can contact Lynn, Discovery Point Coaching, and the contact information is at the end of this video, and it's also on this page. Thank you very much for coming by, and I wish you a great deal of success.
Thank you very much.
You've been in business a long time. You're already successful, but I hope it continues.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.